Hello, welcome to day 2, week 9, split 2 of the 2020 OPL. I am your host, Nick Boy Richardson, and I have literally come in so hot from the end of the Rockets-Mavs game, and joined with me is Jake, Spawn Tiberi, and Andre Skimmy Allchin. We are missing a Zach Rusty Pie at the moment.
I'm shocked. I'm personally shocked.
I mean, he said he may be late, and I was expecting him to be here, even though his thing finishes at 5 p.m.
I just can't believe that you would say I could be late for something,
that was the best
as I
part
have a
about it,
conflict for an hour, and I live like half an hour away from where the conflict is happening. So I should be an hour and a half late, but I might make it on time. That's pretty much how we ended that conversation. And yeah. I'm shocked that he just doesn't have the dedication nor the willpower to be able to make the start of the OPL.
Skimmy, do you think, like I do, which is what he was actually saying is, like, he was going, I might not be there at all because because I feel like that's it. Like, I would be laying the groundwork. Putting the mic in there is like, well, I don't know if I'm going to make it. It's going to be tight, blah, blah, blah. I would be definitely laying the groundwork of, like, he is off. He's at the gym right now.
So
I mean, he's technically, he is at the gym right now, but he's at the gym for personal reasons, not professional.
I'll speak of it from my perspective because I don't want to put words in Rusty's mouth because what I'm about to say could be controversial, right? But we all get paid a day rate. Nick gets paid a day rate. Skimmy gets paid a day rate. I've gone the wrong way. This way. Everyone gets paid a day rate on this show. And if you tell a producer that, hey, I'm going to possibly show up 2 hours late to a 4-hour show, they might say, hey, that's half a day. And whereas if I say I could make it on time, I feel like I'm getting the whole day rate still. So I feel like that's why I would phrase it the way Rusty said it. Not saying that that's what Rusty did. Maybe he genuinely thought that he is Hermione Granger with the time winder. But I'm just saying that that's why I would phrase it that way.
I think he's becoming a big dog, right? I mean, he was a big dog already, but now after this, he'll be a certified, qualified big dog, right? I mean... Yeah,
he will be. He'll be a big dog who still gets paid his day rate.
That's it. That's what I mean.
Half of a day of League of Legends. So congratulations, Rusty. You outplayed all of us, my friend. But we do hope that he's doing very well. I mean, my thing is, he's either going to come in here super happy because it's like it's over. He's done. He's accomplished his goal, and he can get out there and start that part of his career, or he's gonna be bummed. And if he fails this exam and then has to come to work, that is the worst of all possible universes. So if we get a super salty Rusty, you're going to know what's happened. All right, well, I can tell you what is going to happen. We're going to have some League of Legends games. We are very excited to have you with us. Let's take a look at the schedule of these games that we have for us tonight as we charge towards Super Week playoffs. Finals. It's all happening, but we have to get through tonight. And tonight we have Legacy versus Mammoth for Game 1. It's then Direwolves and Pentinet.gg for Game 2. Avant AV, the boys versus Gravitas for Game 3, and then it is Order and Chiefs rounding out the evening. So there's some good games on today. There are some good games, and also I feel like you got Mammoth and Gravitas, two teams that aren't necessarily playing for anything. Throw caution to the wind, do something really weird, turn up at Legacy's house and maybe cut the internet. There's a lot that you could do here that could make for some spicy action. But that spicy action is all because of our wonderful sponsors of the OPL, and that of course is Macca's Neosurf and EPOS. Neosurf, I want to tell you about Neosurf. You've heard me talk about them. You saw the results of the Neosurf competition in the opening titles here, where you, the viewer, the fan, the Twitch chat, I mean, what kind of insane show gives Twitch chat the opportunity to join the broadcast? We do here on the OPL, thanks to Neosurf. Just take a video of yourself joining our opening titles phone call, follow at Neosurf Esports, and DM that video to us at OPL on Twitter. The winner is going to win $500 dues thanks to Neosurf in Neosurf voucher credit for use on the League of Legends store, and the runners-up get $100 each. There are full terms and conditions on watch.lollysports.com. Neosurf, simple, secure way to pay online. My goodness, thank you very much. We're thrilled to have it, and we're thrilled to have you as not only watching the OPL, but a part of the OPL. We've spoken a lot about Rusty. Spawn, how's your day been? What have you been up to the last 24 hours?
I've been pretty good. Got up from a little bit of a sleep in again. Jasper, Jenna, and I went for a little bit of a walk. Jasper's really obsessed with trees at the moment, so that's hella cute. And he also doesn't like me wearing a mask,
buddy.
which is not very cute at all because my ears get ripped off my head every time he tries to demask me. But I've had a pretty good day. It's been chill. I watched also some NBA action when he had his nap, so I'm pretty Gucci. I'm actually loving life at the moment.
Skimmy, how are your kids?
Well, my kids are yet to exist right now there, Nick. So, you know, that's a thought for another time, maybe a few years down the line. But as it stands for me, I slept in like an absolute hibernating polar bear, you know. I went to sleep as soon as the MPL finished. I actually just fell asleep. Like, that's how crazy tight I was. Yeah. Then I woke up in the middle of the night, like 4 a.m., got up, had a shower, because that's just a random thing to do at 4 a.m. apparently, had a shower, and went straight back to sleep again. Like, I just must have been knackered. But I'm really, really keen. You talk about sport. I'm really, really keen for the football that's happening at like 2 a.m. It's going to be a grand final. So I'm going to be up watching that. And, sport.
The FA Cup?
The FA Cup, yeah. You know, it's all about London. London's the best part of England there. So, you know, forget about Man United. Forget about Liverpool. Nobody cares, Nick. It's all about Chelsea.
How dare you? Well, no one cares about the winners. And I'm going to be watching the qualifying lap for the Formula One, so everyone's going to be watching sports.
Yes.
And we are here.
Sports is
before we
so
get to
good.
those sports. What? Sports is back,
that's
baby.
so
It's so
good.
exciting. I remember when they're telling me I need to throw the game. Just give me 1 second. When the whole lockdown thing started, and there was I was given the initial line of like, there's no AFL, there's no NRL, but there is OPL. It's like, that's a really good point. Esports is still going. Like, we're awesome. That's sick. Like, and that was a genuine thing to be excited about. But at the same time, I was like, I miss traditional sport, and it is so exciting that it is all back. We get the best of both worlds. We get the esports. We get the other sports. Sports. Speaking of esports, though, game number 1, we have Legacy and Mammoth. Mammoth, of course, I used to love Mammoth, and then Mammoth did me dirty. And so now I can't wait to see them get stomped, which means they'll probably win against Legacy. Spawn, what does a game like this mean for Legacy now when they're in the position that they're in?
Yeah, I mean, they're pretty much locked, right? You would expect them to be first, get that bye on the upper bracket. So I think it's about getting more game time into Halo, continuing to evolve that guy. Chungy had a good matchup last time against Legacy, so try and shut him down, have a better game.
Alrighty, well, we are about to jump into game number 1. Your casters will be Skimmy and Spawn because Rusty will be joining us sometime throughout the evening. So it'll be a surprise when he turns up, and we look forward to it, and we hope he's doing really well. In the meantime, we have some Legacy versus Mammoth action for you coming up after this short break and the Macca's Champ Select.
So today we're going up against Legacy. I think they have a very strong roster and really looking forward to versing them, and hopefully we can take the win.
I think last time we played Legacy we brought it to them, and now we're just playing spoilers, so I hope we can beat Legacy again.
So tonight we play off against Legacy. They're a really difficult team. I think I've kind of eased up this week. Jan Walter might not be impressed with my solo queue performances. Played a few normals with a couple extra individuals. Bit of an ARAM Andy this week. So maybe that's the secret shot to maybe coming away with a win this week.
Legacy is a pretty good team. We haven't versed a new mid laner yet, Halo. He didn't do too hot in his first week, but I think that's just nerves getting to him. I'm curious to see how well he do if he's playing against us, so hopefully we verse him.
And here we go for the very first game of the day. It's Mammoth taking on Legacy, and if you draft your minds back a few weeks ago when these two teams met, it was a week of big upsets where Mammoth took down sequentially not only Legacy but the Chiefs. A big upset for them. Obviously the stakes are a little bit different here today, but the players, they asked for it and they'll get it. Back-to-back performances and showings here by Halo.
Yeah, and I think this is really important. I kind of hit on it yesterday, Skimmy, but I think Halo will probably play the rest of the games this season to try and get as much game time into him as possible. When I put Tally on Summoner's Rift, I know exactly what I'm going to get. A crafty veteran who plays a lot of tanks, a lot of these melee champions, will sacrifice his own farm for the good of the team. When I play Halo, I'm looking for another carry. He hasn't really been able to show that all that much. Yesterday's game on Cassiopeia was definitely his best game in the OPL so far, so need some more game time in this young man. Get his experience up, get his confidence there, because for Legacy to win this season, you feel like they need a weapon in the mid lane.
They certainly will. It could be so vital in a best-of-3, best-of-5 format where you have the ability to sub in and out members as you see fit for what kind of idea you want to bring to your opposition. What's really cool already from the get-go here from Legacy is 2 bans targeted towards Chungi. We know what his Ari did last time. It went 12-1. The guy was a monster on that pick, as well as Bass, who played the volley bear. So definitely looking into what went wrong last time, removing those elements and going strong with the Ezreal and the Trundle.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I really feel like this draft has taken a turn for the worse already for Mammoth. They need something special in their pick ban, I feel like. It was the Ari last time they met, and then when they upset the Chiefs, it was actually a Heimerdinger in the bottom lane. Skimmy, if you cast your mind back. They've gone with Ashe, who is super strong on the current patch. I think out of the major region, she's 100% win rate at the moment. But in response, they just give Legacy the easiest Ezreal pick for Raze like you can possibly get. And his Ezreal is genuinely 1v5 kind of things. You couple that with a Trundle as well and the amount of peeling that's going to come out of Babip. Now I feel like Mammoth kind of have to run a tankless lineup. Maybe a Wukong in the top lane is the best that they're going to get. And they're going to have to throw down. And that's always tough versus a Legacy lineup. They are just so strong at that area of the game.
Well, they certainly are. We obviously saw a tankless composition yesterday coming out of them. We had Bass playing the Grave, but we had a top Karma. 2 ranged assassins, be it the Caitlyn and the Xerath. Whether or not we'll get a composition looking to try and keep you at distance, because now you've got a Blitzcrank locked in, you definitely never want to get in close quarters.
Yeah, and I mean, Blitzcrank is one of those weird picks, right? Because it is technically a good pick into the Thresh. If you grab him in laning phase, you're just going to blow him up instantly with the Ezreal. Blitz does so much damage. But I feel like the laning phase can be tough if you're getting pushed in as Blitzcrank. So we'll see exactly how that one rolls out. If you can create creep advantage and be able to play within your creep wave, you can kind of make the Blitz a little bit useless. You see the ban of the Twisted Fate away by Legacy. That's kind of proof that Halo was a very different player than Tally. So we'll see exactly what that leads to in the mid lane. Chungi, to me, isn't known for his TF. I would rather get rid of a couple of assassins that he might play there. And we'll see whether Halo gets the counter pick again, because this is where they have been dropping Halo and blind picking for Topoon. You know, something like an Ornn or an Ekton or a Camille, all available at the moment for him. But at the same time, double bans to the mid lane might mean that Halo is blind picking a control mage here.
Wouldn't surprise us, but as you highlight as well, Topoon has been targeted with the Camille and the GP taken away on top. And looks like if that is going to be locking, which it will be, that is going to be Halo going back-to-back performances now on the Orianna. He's highest by a country mile now. 3 games we played on this Orianna, and we'll sort of showcase that it's all about the wombo combo and what this can present, which is obviously so different to what Tally brings, the likes of TF, Galio, and Vector.
Yeah, and we'll see if he can have a better performance on his Orianna. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Skimmy, but the last time he played Ori was against Order, and he went down like 50 CS in the laning phase, and Harry killed him twice in a side lane. So he is a very good Orianna player. When he first came onto the scene, I said, watch out for his Orianna and his Veigar, because they're the 2 champions that when I think of Halo, they come to the forefront of my mind. So I'm really hoping that he has a good performance today.
Yeah, the teleport was used. I'm pretty sure we had that situation where he teleported up top where he could have pushed through mid, and, you know, small little mistakes like that, as you can call out, can make a bit of a difference. But this is the spice that you kind of wanted to see coming out from Mammoth. They have gone for the Ziggs. They could combine that with the set, so there will be some initiation, there will be a tank, but there will be a lot of follow-up if they can lock somebody down.
Are we going to see another Shen top? We saw Shen top into set pick yesterday, and I thought it did really well. I was very impressed with how well the Shen was able to stand up. Ornn is also another pick that you can run very easily. Ooh, nah, how did I forget that? That's been Topoon's response to it, I think, every time it's been picked this season.
Certainly has, and he's going to find good success with it once again. Got a slight buff in a patch not too distant or not too long ago, and we wondered, what do we see more of it? Well, it seems to be that Topoon is the only one that is really rising to the occasion so far. So we've definitely got 2 different styles of gameplay taking place here. We're not going to get the long-range assassination that Mammoth tried to, but they definitely have the ability now where I think the wheels really came unstuck once that first item came online for Direwolves. Direwolves then started to get river control, and they could just never ever push in to control objectives and really utilize what those two assassins were designed to do.
Yeah, and I mean, when you have a look at this game, Skimmy, the ease of execution is so heavily on Legacy's side that you think Mammoth are going to have to play a truly special game to be able to get this one done. The only champions that are easy to use on the entirety of their team is pretty much Ashe. Everything else relies on a lead, being able to outfarm your opponent, being able to get better positioning around the map, and take mismatch numbered team fights. And I just don't see how Mammoth are going to be able to do that against a team like Legacy. So already in this pick ban, I think that they come onto the, it's already first versus second last. Now I think that they have a better pick ban phase on the side of Legacy. Now I'm just looking at Mammoth, I'm thinking, they're going to have to play even better than they did last time if they want to pick up another victory.
Well, it's going to be kind of interesting because when we saw them go last time, it was all about that initiation, that pick potential. We look at the pick potential here, and yes, it's not as clear-cut as the likes of what an Ari can offer. You've got pick potential in a way, but you know what you're going to be going into is a Legacy comp that want you to really bring you into the fold of things, right? You got an Orianna that can instantly couple the ball on top. There's the Shockwave. There's the instant turnaround. There's a Wombo combo that's a counter engage that suddenly says, please come to us, bring us in. So I think between that, the likes of a Blitzcrank as well. I mean, we saw how impressive Isles was yesterday on that fresh. Give him another hooking champion like the Blitzcrank, which you don't see so commonly. Game on.
Yeah, and I mean, Isles has been, to me, one of the best supports in the entirety of the league.
Yeah.
Sneeze into your elbow. I'm at home by myself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just chilling in my room.
There's actually a screen between us. This is all... wait, I should do the other hand, right?
Yeah.
It's a screen between us. This is the magic of working online.
Exactly right. We're in Skimmy's bedroom, but this is just what the other wall in Skimmy's bedroom looks like. He used all of his furniture on one side of his bedroom and not the other side of his bedroom. So
just a lopsided room. Super scuffed, but that's how I like to live, and that's what we're going to see as you jump into the very first game of the day. Mammoth taking on Legacy. Legacy currently locked in at first position. Mammoth, unfortunately, had their hopes and dreams of making it to playoffs cut short not too long ago, but that means they could look to cause an upset here again today. They could showcase what they can do, and they will get that chance to go into Halo, who needs more and more experience to be ready and warmed up for playoffs.
We're going to get the new Gnar skin. It's going to be the Astro Gnar, which you would see if you play TFT like I do a lot. I got Plat 3 today, Skimmy.
Did you?
I'm back on the grind, mate. I'm going to the top.
We should go at it. I'm pretty sure I'm Plat 3 as well, but I play so sparingly. I play so sparingly. But when I do play, I hard and force Vanguard Mystic every go. I just int until I get blue buff. You saw when I was streaming, int until you get blue buff. You get blue buff, and then just win streak your way to like top 4.
I've come in the last 5 games I've played. I've had 3 firsts and 2 seconds.
That's not bad.
I've just been hardcore actually trying. I have played 3 of your comp because it's just been available.
Yeah.
But I've also played a Blaster Brawler game, and I got 1 cheeky Darkstar in there.
Oh, Darkstar's pretty fun.
Yeah, Darkstar's the best if it's uncontested, but if as soon as it's contested, it just sucks.
You see 5 people go Java, and you're like, well, it's not looking like a good day for me here today. But let's see what happens in this one. Don't commonly see Ziggs in the mid lane. We see them use sparingly in the bottom lane, most notably with Advanced Gun Crab early on. Get to see what Chungy can do with it here today.
Very interesting start here as the Graves going to solo start along with... Oh, Topoon, that's a boomerang in the wrong direction. Solo start for the Graves as well as the Trundle. And this always interests me to see who farms quicker because Trundle to me is just the pace setter in the jungle. You can see he takes the Raptor camp quicker than the Grom camp's going to go down. Still full health as well. Both of them only use 1 potion. Wonder if we get the big clash at the bottom lane Scuttle Crab, Skimmy.
Would be interesting. That was a nice little bunny hop there away from the Haymaker. That would have done a fair bit of damage to Topoon as he evolves and gets angry.
And Gnar sucks at the start of the game, Skimmy. There's no point really even watching all the health trades. He's not a lane bully like other ranged champions are because he's so short range and he relies on his hop to get attack speed and you're not going to hop forward against Liv. So what are you looking for? You're looking for him to get a Phage shop or a Boots 2 shop, and then he'll start bullying the lane through the additional movement speed that he's able to generate off the back of those items. Once you've got Boots 2 and Phage, then the lane's really over for the set and he can't do all that much, So we'll see exactly what happens here. Babbitt going to look for a bit of a mid lane gank. This is cheeky.
Certainly is. There goes the frozen floor, there's the pillar, and there's the flash away as Chungy's in so much trouble right now. And Babbitt did just enough there to not steal it away as Halo gets first blood.
Okay, so the reason that was cheeky is because the Graves was on bottom side of Summoner's Rift, and bottom lane had priority. So if Graves had have met them there, that could have technically been a winning 2v2 for the Mammoth, mid-jungle duo, with the Thresh also moving to the play first. However, Babbitt just does a terrific job of being able to avoid vision. I don't know whether that was a call from Halo that no one had dropped wards there. And they're able to pick up the first blood. Now, they are going to get double scuttle crabbed here, right? So there is going to be an experience advantage in the jungle positioning for Bass. But you'd have to say first blood onto Halo. That's definitely well worthwhile, just going down a little bit of CS on the Trundle.
You certainly take it. You're going to be quite content with that one. And it has been a little bit of what we've seen in Babbitt in recent times when he has been playing these tanks. Is quite willing to sacrifice for the greater good of what his team can then achieve. He knows he's got plenty of carries on the team there. So if they get those resources, then why not? It tends to be around this bottom part of the map. But we definitely know what happens when the mid lane comes online as well. They can showcase what they're all about. And one kill at this stage of the game. Always something nice to look at. You can see there, that's the power and the presence that a Blitzcrank provides just by merely walking on up. You're terrified.
And what they're calling is that you could see that Bash went for a Raptor camp, and he dropped a wards there. I think he just left one Raptor up and available. They also used a sweeper to spot out the double golem. So they knew that Trundle was still on Summoner's Rift. So if he's on Summoner's Rift, he must be bottom side jungle on our side because there's nothing else on his bottom side jungle. You know, let's just play Lantern, let's play super safe. We got zoned off a couple of creeps. Sure, we're going to go down probably 2 CS here if Ezreal's able to pick up everything underneath the turret. But that's not going to be so much of a big deal, just given the fact that, you know, we didn't give away another kill and Bass was able to continue to generate his own lead.
Will be important. We know exactly what Graves is about, especially when the lanes are left to their own device, how we can power farm, match that other laners in terms of farm, but XP as well. He can get himself in a comfortable position. A Black Cleaver could definitely assist the likes of a Set. As well as an Ashe to find that pick target with the CC they have their way between mid and support.
Itemization will be interesting this game because if I'm the Set, I feel like I have to probably build a little bit more selfishly than the Black Cleaver. I would want a Trinity Force in this matchup, just given the fact that Naz not going to build any kind of armor outside of his boots for the first 2 items, as the ult into the wall misses there by Topu. So I would want to play for my pure 1v1. Bass is going to get spotted out on this dragon here. He's in some trouble, Skimmy.
Certainly is. We'll have the flash, we'll have a dash as the pillar goes on down. That's the trophy being shown on full display right there. And that is quite intimidating as it forces them to disengage away. Now Blitzcrank goes for the hook. The combo comes out there from Shockwave. Well, I say Shockwave, comes out from Halo. There's a Shockwave as it turns around onto Bass as he falls on down. Starts off there on a dragon.
Lane. Topoon's here as well.
And here comes Topoon. Doesn't have the ultimate. And ooh, flash away. Did not want to fall victim to that one as Legacy find themselves another kill.
Okay, a bit of a disaster there because with the lead that Bass had picked up, instead of deciding that I'm going to farm my top camps and I'm going to put myself in an advantageous position, he runs straight to Dragon and starts it up. They had no priority in the bottom lane. They had no priority in the mid lane. It was fresh reset coming in from Legacy. They had access to the river straight away. So I think that that's just a mistake coming across from the jungler of Mammoth. If they had have waited the extra 50 seconds, you know, he could have gone to his top camps, would have been able to go up an additional level, then started the dragon, they would have been in a great position to be able to fight. Now all they get for that is they lose a dragon, they give over another kill. They do have a teleport advantage on Liv though, so let's track how they use that going into potentially the Rift Herald fight that's about to come up and available. Whether Legacy go for a swap or whether Mammoth just keep the 3v3. Would be very interesting because if I'm Mammoth, I want to get lived into this bottom lane and try and use that teleport advantage for the Herald in 40 seconds.
And no doubt, because you know you're going also into both the Orianna and the Ezreal that are looking to passively stack up that tier. Could be quite content just farming away, especially now Ezreal has the Cold Blade 2 to effectively and efficiently play out those minions for all the gold in the world. Those tier 2 boots are there, those ninja tabbies as you highlighted between both bruises, so we get to see how those trading patterns come on through, but definitely as you highlight, the Phage is the focal point. That's a nice little hook. There's the response. Isles turns around and, well, that's even without an ignite. Cleanses OP, removes all the damage that Arctic was trying to throw his way, and Legacy can just walk away from that one.
Yeah, Artek goes with the old walk at 'em tactic that I like to employ sometimes in League of Legends, but much in the same way that I'm not a top player, that looked kind of silly there, Skimmy, because he just walked through all of the damage that they were able to throw out.
Oh, it connected. True shot, barrage, hook, execution, and he's gone. There's the teleport advantage you wanted to see, and here it comes. Liv now going for a 1v1 because he's split away. But Isles will flash to the safety of that tier 1 turret. And no harm, no foul. As Bebep says, thanks for losing that priority. Now we can get Heralds. Maybe more.
Fight.
Here goes Halo. Shockwaves into the mid. Bebep actually going to flash on forward. Connects with the Subjugate. There goes the Infernal Bomb onto absolutely nothing. Blue buff or not, he's going to regen that mana. Maybe regen some of that sanity as well.
And Halo having a really good game. That was a great Shockwave. Going to be able to flash out to safety as well. Showing that he is starting to build in confidence. But at a certain point, Skimmy, you have to just say, what is Mammoth doing? There's not all that much going on. They walk into a 2v2. They teleport away. They still try and contest the objective. It's a really rough game to watch.
So much lost in the first 9 minutes. You know, we see a gold lead like this. 2k already built up in the pockets of a team of this kind of caliber. They are going to punish you. And, you know, bear in mind, this is Legacy coming in saying, you beat us last time. We banned away everything that really made you strong. You've had to try and draft something a little bit different here today. And so far, it hasn't proven the goods.
And that's a good point, right? Legacy would want to come into this game, Skimmy, and they would want to send a message, you know, that was just a blip on the radar, that maybe we didn't take them seriously enough. This is what it looks like when we play them at full force, you know, with the team. Even, you know, including Halo, who hasn't honestly been up to kind of the caliber of Telly so far, but you can see that now that he's starting to find his feet, having some good performances in the OPL this weekend. If they go 2-0 with Halo, that would be a great boost to the young man's confidence. It gives them a legitimate 6-man roster coming into the gauntlet.
I think we touched on it yesterday about how he was being catered to by his teammates to get those kills, to get that Cassiopeia so strong so early on. We're sort of seeing the same happen here today. Already 2 kills to his name and an assist as well. Definitely in the mix of things with a ton of gold as well. The highest in the game as it stands, as he's the first to hit that magical 4K mark. So you want that confidence. No doubt you've been working hard on it. And as the coaching staff, to have that flexibility in that mid lane is going to obviously be an ace up your sleeves when it comes to confusing in those long best-of-5 series.
And it's times like this where I wish we actually had the coaches' interviews back. And maybe, you know, Denian will feel nice enough. Well, Hook is on. That's going to be silenced, and that's just absolutely destroyed.
There's just nothing to say about that one. That was a goal. Literally, as Isles is the goalkeeper, he finds them. He showcases that, yeah, I can play Fresh. I can play Nautilus. I'm very good at Bard, but I can just play anything that has skill shots.
And every now and again, Skimmy, you're just going to be able to take a fight as a color cast, because that one was said and done before I was even going to be able to hand it off to you. Isles is on fire at the moment, also going to go with the Righteous Glory pickup. And what I was going to mention is I would love to know how much scrim time Halo is playing versus Telly, and whether, you know, Denian's going to be able to share that information publicly. Understand if he doesn't want to, but as a commentator, you just sit there and you look and you kind of think, he is improving, you know. He's even in CS, even though he's been so much more active around Summoner's Rift. He's 2-0-1. As you mentioned, it looks like the synergy between Babip and Halo is starting to increase, because Babip is escorting him around the map the way you need to when you play with a control mage that wants farm. You know, Tally's going to be one of those players that he'll just go get his own waves. He can come early or late to a fight because he's not going to be concentrated at that part of the game. But Babip is starting to figure out how to play with a gold-hungry farmer again. Topu just throws Liv back into the turret.
Certainly does. He's got that Fabled Phage online now, so got a small item advantage over the set, and we're starting to see that happen in the trading patterns. Both are running fleet footwork, so sustain a little bit more prevalent here as opposed to the tanky nature of a Grasp build, but means that if Liv tries to go for any kind of trading pattern, Tapoon can just run away.
Have you enjoyed casting with Juves during the OCS?
I have. It's like we banter so hard. I remember my funnest moment, or my most fond memory has to be when we saw nothing on the screen. We just heard noise, we just heard sound, and we just cast what we thought we knew.
Made front page Reddit. I saw that one as well. The reason I bring it up is because he's just sitting in Twitch chat, just egging people on. I was hoping you were going to mention the banter, because he has got Twitch chat on a string right now, and is just playing them like a musical instrument.
It's the same Joe in OCS, but he's a polarizing character, and I think that's why we love him, mate. He gets the viewers in, he gets chat talking.
Is he polarizing? I think everyone just loves him.
Well, I feel like there's so many people that always give him flack as well, and I feel it's so undeserved. But hey, he's the king of the Oceanic Jungle.
His job, commentating professional e-gamers, says Papa Smithy. We do it a little bit differently here, Mr. Christopher. It's a little bit different. Liv, about to get solo killed though, Skimmy.
He certainly is. That's what we're highlighting only moments prior. The shield is going to expire, and Tapoon is looking to make his health bar expire as well as he falls on down in the 1v1 solo kill. And that's a nice little trade, which means he can now get some significant damage onto this turret before those plates fall on down.
Yeah, going to be able to take himself another one, and this is a very nice game out of Tapoon. 2-0-0. We said he's maybe the MVP at the moment. I think it's definitely probably between him and... Probably. English is just a stupid language.
It's the first game of the day. We get it out of the way in the first one, right?
We certainly do. This is a warm-up. You guys are just watching our rehearsal live. It's between Raze and Tapoon, in my opinion.
Sure.
I think they're the two most consistently good players on this Legacy lineup. Isles has some blinders, but I don't think has found the consistency of the other two. So I'm interested to see who wins the vote, because obviously in the OPL, or maybe not obviously if you're a fan and you don't know this, but the captains of the teams actually have a vote on the MVP. So sometimes it's how little people like to play against you as well, which is, I'm sure, a big contributing factor on Croc's award, because no one likes playing against him.
Nah, he had a fantastic debut in the season, there's no doubt about that. So I'm sure that was one of the major contributing factors to why they decided that that's where they wanted to pander their vote to. 2 Dragons, and this will be the second Herald going the way of Legacy if they can acquire this one, as they've managed to bully Mammoth away.
And I don't think there's any way you can contest this. And Skimmy, I will just repeat it one more time. When you can't contest an objective as 5, you need to split on the other side of the map. Now, if you look at bottom lane creep wave, it's actually hit the turret, and it's reversing against Mammoth. So they're losing farm on the side of the map that they should be playing towards at the moment, and they're going to lose top lane turret and Rift Herald. There's just no trade available. You can see now they've pinged onto the enemy blue buff, but it's just too late. No one's active on the map right now for the Mammoth lineup. They look a little bit lost. Even if they go across there, they're now going to have to deal with this Black Cleaver just little things. This is how you get blown out in a game of League of Legends. If you're behind and you trade smart, there's a chance that you're going to be able to stall it and, you know, be able to play the game out for a 35, 40-minute win condition with some equal farm on your carry. If you just start bleeding objectives, not being able to trade turrets to Herald and the like, it does become quite difficult to stay in the game.
It does, and I mean, it's a bit of a catastrophe to say it's 16 minutes. They are already down by 6,000 gold. Obviously a Rift Herald as well there to blow that even further. This is the... You almost want to coin it the ego boost game of saying what was the result last time was a blip on the radar. We're going to showcase what we can do when we remove those comfort picks. We know that you like to play Heimerdinger. You showed it into the Chiefs. We've seen teams say you are a Heimerdinger only team. Well, we know that Chungy can play some pocket picks as well, but he's showcased the Ziggs here today. Hasn't found as much success as I'm sure he was last after. And Legacy definitely looking for a very early soul point, looking to try and put the clock on at 21 minutes.
This reminds me of the Cell Saga in Dragon Ball Z, where, you know, Goku is supposed to be the savior of everyone. He comes out, fights Cell, then he just admits, you know what, I'm not strong enough, and he throws in Gohan, a 16-year-old kid or something at the time, and he just punches the absolute ever-living hell out of Cell for about 3 episodes. You know, Mammoth, they might have been able to take down the old man in Tally, but you put in the younger James, the better James, some would say, and this is the result of it. You've poked the bear, you've made them angry, and now you pay the price.
I think I've actually got the inside track as to where Tally is right now. I've found out he's actually he's actually in a hyperbolic chamber, prepping and practicing. He's rejuvenating himself for maximum efficiency in playoffs.
Not again.
Yeah, we're just going to see Tapoon have some fun in the sun. He jumps down bottom lane. Both will flash away as that tier 1 turret stubbornly stays alive, as does Set, as he's been locked down here for the last 5 minutes.
And Tapoon is just playing the annoying minigame, which is like throw and catch boomerangs and ensure that you're going to just be able to whittle down turrets and champions alike. And you can see that there's not really all that much Set can do about it. Ultimate not available for Top Earn, so probably not going to go for a dive off this Mega, but we'll just continue to pin him there. Draws more pressure down into the bottom side of Summoner's Rift, and just is being a general nuisance.
Frustration has to be the key word here, and no doubt Bass is a bit like, well, where do I go? I haven't found my success rate that I was after. Trundle is getting ahead of me, getting more and more golds to facilitate the rest of this team. You got Raze already with a completed Muramata at 18 minutes. I believe he's at it even on earlier than that at this stage. Trinity Force is there as well. He's got all the CDR in the world, and now we know exactly what this player can do when he's got a character like this in his hands.
You can see some defensive itemization coming across for the second item as well from Halo. A little bit more conservative. Hook going to miss there as Isles throws one out onto Artek, but that should be mid lane turret going down. Nearly. One more auto will do it.
Oh! He wanted the auto! He went in for it, jukes the hook, but receives an arrow. Instant cleanse there. The turret just baiting him.
And you can see that they're just trying to clean out this creep wave and not allow the last auto attack to go across. But Legacy, they're doing the right thing. They'll keep the map big. They'll say, okay, if you want to collapse and just defend this turret that will die eventually, you know, next reset we'll just stay for an extra auto attack. Then that's your prerogative. Instead, we're going to push in top wave. We're going to make you lose farm there. We're going to push in bottom lane. We're going to make you lose farm there. And eventually, we will get our 2v2 back in the mid lane. And we will look to take down the mid outer turret.
Legacy looking at a perfect game so far, 7 kills to 0, and that is their second turret. 2-0 as it stands right now. Lane states continue to be as they are, with the teleport soon to come back online there for Tapoon. We get to see where their next play happens on the map as it stands right now. Keep clearing, keep farming, keep getting those item spikes there for us to utilize. No doubt the second items will not be too far away here, as we're going to start to see the likes of a Frozen Mammoth being built. I don't know. Add further salt to the wounds of this set trying to walk up to you and not really be able to throw hands.
It's a painful laning experience to watch. Nara is one of those champions in League of Legends, Skimmy, that if you allow him to get to this point without being able to kill him in mini Nara a couple of times, then he just really does feel oppressive. And you wonder, like, where did the game go wrong? You have to think back to the early pathing mistakes that Bass made. You know, had himself an advantage off the fact that Babip was ganking on the Trundle as opposed to hard farming. There should have been an opportunity for this Graves to be much further ahead. He's 3 camps down, you know, equal in experience pretty much. He's going to be able to hit level 11, probably off the next mid lane wave. But just overall, you have to feel like too many early game mistakes for Mammoth against what is primarily a late game composition. You know, Gnar scales incredibly well, as does Ezreal. So if you're going to make those mistakes, you know, sub 10 minutes, then you're just going to accelerate the other team to the point where right now it's impossible to catch them.
Well, one person trying to be caught onto is Raze, and well, he's got the moves like Jagger. He guarantees it. Out goes the grit, the shield, it's there. Legacy Isles flashing on forward, but there comes the true shot barrage. He's got insane passive regen, and he's tackled all the different raid bosses that have come his way, but Subjugate will be the deal breaker. That'll mean that he falls on down. As the rest of Mammoth try to do a swing, and they'll try to re-engage. As that goes the arrow, there's the Mega Inferno Bomb, and that's a ton of damage onto 2 key targets, but just not enough to delete the flawless match.
And you can see Ray's going to pick up another kill over the wall. This is the sole point, and you can't let this one go on the wayside, despite the fact that you're probably going to be fighting a 3v5. You have to try and make something of it, Skimmy. Get control of mid, try and approach through the river, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Isles, credit to him, reads the map state very well, shoves them out of mid lane, in fact chases them off the turret even, gets a flash out of Mboma, and that is going to be soul picked up at 22 minutes and 9 seconds. And Legacy looking to kind of change the way they've been playing the game. They are the slowest team in the OPL. Well, today they look very fast.
They definitely do look very fast. 22 minutes on the clock with a Mountain Soul with the resistances to ensure that, hey, a combination like we just saw moments prior will do even less damage now. So the chances of you turning a fight around on us, well, as likely as it has been. And I start to wonder if Graves is a bit of a doomed pick between these two teams. It's been played twice so far. Both times has not found success on either side of the coin. We saw Bab last time actually play the Graves with the Ignite and Smite. Went for that very early level 2 gank, didn't pay off, and obviously was a big catalyst to making sure that Changizari got so far ahead. And we're seeing a similar story here today, where Graves just hasn't been able to have lane states that favour him and hasn't been able to farm to his heart's desire.
Yeah, Graves is a bit of a trap in Oceania. I feel like Lisa is probably the only jungle that has seen much success on the pick, just, thinking off the top of my head. I do want to point out to the young AD carriers watching how Raze is able to get 255 CS and be so far ahead of the clock. So what you would have seen there, if you go back and watch like a minute before what we're about to talk about. Hold the thought, Liv going in.
Hold the thought for 1 second, because, yep, there's the hook, there's the silence. And there's the def and delete as Zenboma falls on down before the fight even starts. Now it's a 4v5. Bash trying to disengage away, but it's not going to be too easy. As there's the pillar, there's the true shot barrage. That goes through the goalpost, but he finds him anyways. He's got the mobility of all that CDR. Chasing him down, running him down. They want the perfect player to have the perfect game. And there is the flawless ace.
Yeah, 23 minutes in, Raze is so accelerated at this stage that he's just able to, tank all of the damage. The perfect player in Quinny K just wants to get this one over and done with. That's going to be a Baron picked up as well, Skimmy. And he's 260 CS at 24 minutes. And the way you do that is you skip recall. So his team went for a full reset after the Dragon. He actually took mid lane, moved to top lane, took that wave as well, then went to the double golems. That is so much experience and farm that he's taking off Summoner's Rift. Now, why is he able to do that? He's CS, really well throughout the start of the game. So that means that even without the shop, he is stronger than his counterpart. That means that, it just continues to snowball. Good effort here, but Halo nails the 2 key members with a shockwave. Great hook over the wall. Halo gets out of that Mega Inferno bomb. Finally, Mammoth realized that they've just used too much, and Raze, knowing that all the ults are down, is just not scared of any of the damage that comes now. Just continues to flash forward, continues to fight. On the back end of the fight, credit to Liv, he tries his hardest, but this game is well and truly over, Skimmy. And Raze just does too much damage.
He certainly does. Forget Iceborne Gauntlet, forget the Death Stance that he did not have at that stage of the game. This is a AD carry playing as if he is a tank with no fear in the world. Now sitting at 5-0-3. A third of the team's overall kills. You can understand why. As that combination, only moments after the soul had been picked up, literally did nothing. As will Chungy's chances of taking down this player here as the emotes come on flying. 15 kills to 0. It's looking like a perfect game here.
And he's 4 levels up over his counterpart. 50 odd CS, 6-0-3 can side lane. And OPL teams are starting to do this really well, Skimmy. We've actually, hold the thought. Topoon might have cost his team the perfect game.
The perfect game, surely not. 1v3, what has he got? No, Mboma's on the way right now. There's no teleports that can come on in. Halo cannot assist. They're actually leaving him for dead. They're saying, Matt, we're pushing mid. He's going to bunny hop away. Controls are falling on down. 4 people are chasing him. It's the great chase of 2020. Bot lane is where we're at. The hook goes AWOL. He's going to try and sack himself the turret. There's the first one. No, save him. There's the stopwatch. The perfect game is shut down.
And where was the rest of the boys? The boy dog has left Topoon for dead. They surely could have made it there in time, Skimmy. He was too young. He didn't deserve this. The ultimate going to come across. This is the last chance.
Retribution there. They said, we've dogged him in the bot lane, but if you come and say hello to us, we'll punish you. We've taken your inhibitor, and we're going to take your life as well, as they'll fall on down there. Now, a 4v4 as the siege continues. And top lane is where they'll turn their attention to.
You can see the siege going to start here. Mammoth just playing bodyguard again on the side of the turret. Has done a really great job this week. Hook's changed places. That's going to be another kill picked up for Raze. He's godlike. Both areas of the base broken. 8 seconds on Topoon. He'll just teleport in. You expect this to be the final push.
Certainly do. Baron buff is still there, bear in mind. The man does not miss these hooks. Isles continues to smurf. He says, look, Ayla might be fantastic, but don't forget me. And he's putting up a big MVP status here today. But it's not going to change the overall outcome. That time it misses, so you can't talk about the Mokasta curse apparently happens. 1 turret has fallen on down, a second to fall in quick pursuit, and that will be the game done and dusted just like that. The Mega Inferno Bomb will hit 3. They'll just shrug it off, and now they might look to pad their KDAs as you're locked inside that fountain. The minions are passively pushing for the end. The supers are there, but the hooks are utilized on CD. And at 27 minutes, Legacy take down Mammoth.
Yeah, commanding win for the Legacy lineup. It might not have been perfect. It might not have been flawless. 1 death will go across to the guys from Mammoth, but you got to say that was a very one-sided game, Skimmy. An absolute shellacking by the defending OPL champions and showing, regardless of who we put on Summoner's Rift in the mid lane, we are the team to fear at the moment.
Certainly not a team to fear, certainly the team to showcase that we have diversity amongst our ranks with our champion pools, with our styles of gameplay and the tempo, be it early game strengths or late game scaling. That is Legacy getting the day underway here for day 2 of week 9. We're going to jump to a very quick break, and when we do return, it's one of the big bangers of the day so far. It's going to be Direwolves taking on Pentanet.
Today is the NeoSurf Cup, and we're going to be playing against Misfits, so hopefully we can bring home the win.
NeoSurf is simple, safe and secure. You can go to your local shop and get a voucher code and use it online, preferably to buy League of Legends skins.
He's got it! This is deadly! He's got it!
If you're craving the taste of your favourites, head to Macca's for a fast, safe and contactless drive-through experience. For your Macca's run, contact-free, we'll be here.